The Rams really fought through a lot last season, and people on the outside have kind of been undervaluing what this team has done over the offseason, but over the last few days, the Rams really have been getting a boost on the power rankings. We of course found out that the days of Cooper Kupp in LA are sadly over, but then we found out the Devante Adams news, and with how this team is looking right now, both offensively and defensively, with the draft still on the horizon, I think the Rams are one of the teams that have a chance to make a deep playoff run, and if not, get back to the Super Bowl next year. And I want to talk about why. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so Devante Adams is now a Ram. It does hurt to see Kupp go, but this was something that needed to happen because Kupp just couldn't stay on the field. It sucked, man. He just couldn't stay healthy, and Adams is looking forward to playing with yet another elite QB. Adams noted how his respect for Stafford stemmed from their many battles in the NFC South. He doesn't make it any harder than it needs to be out there. He's simple, Adams said. Dating back to when Megatron broke the record, I think he needed like 180 or something, and he went and got like 220. Seeing that and just knowing that in that situation, I don't think they were headed anywhere near the playoffs, but to play in that game, not check out in the last game of the year, know how much that means to Megatron and how much it means to him to be a part of something like that, it just says the type of person that he is. And of course, Stafford won a Super Bowl a few years ago, so he has that winning experience. Adams noted his experience with the Las Vegas Raiders was great, other than the fact that they did not have a quality quarterback under center. Adams really learned the hard way how difficult it is to win in this league without a top tier quarterback, which impacted his decision to join the Rams. But outside of Adams and Stafford, it's guys like Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, Byron Young. There is talent and potential everywhere, and we all know they have one of the best head coaches in the league in Sean McVay. At least some people would argue that. I know Davante's career has kind of been slowing down over the last 2 to 3 years, but really, like I said, he has just not been in good situations. The Raiders had nobody that could throw him the ball. The Jets was just a bad situation altogether. People were just hyping up the reunion with Rodgers, but now, with the Rams, Davante is not going to have to be the number one guy. They have Puka, they have guys like Atwell and Higbee. Davante can just be himself, and if he can stay healthy at this point in his career, I think this could be a great thing, but only time will tell. And getting back to the title of this video, let me break down why the Rams are contenders in 2025, and I don't care what you say. Obviously, I'm not just going to say they're going to win it all. I'm just saying they are capable. Kyron Williams is the 7th ranked running back in the entire NFL. He had nearly 1,300 yards last season, and he was putting up about 5.6 yards per carry. Those are actually Hall of Fame numbers, believe it or not. It truly was the definition of a breakout season, and then behind him is no slouch either. Blake Corum was an animal at Michigan, and if he's healthy, I think he can become a guy that can play make in big situations as well. At receiver, I think it's obvious that the Rams are pretty good. Really, the only thing there is health, because obviously if Adams and Nacua aren't on the field for the whole season, then that will create some problems. But if this unit does stay pretty healthy, I think with Stafford being their QB, the Rams could have a top 5 receiving unit in the league. And then now for the offensive line, which is of course the most important unit in the NFL. Right now, according to Pro Football Network, the Rams are sitting at the front end of the middle of the pack at 13 with an 80.7 overall grade. And the Rams O-line really caught its stride down the stretch of last year, so they will be looking to carry that momentum forward into 2025. And then for the defense is why many people are saying that the Rams are contenders. The front end of the depth chart is absolutely loaded. So now the next step for the Rams front office is to find that needed depth in the draft. They may look to add some role players at defensive tackle and edge, but the main focus should be replacing Christian Rozeboom and Troy Reeder at linebacker. They need more talent at cornerback to compete for starting roles, and that could also extend to depth in the safety position. And additionally, they should look to add some competition at edge opposite of Jared Verse, even if it doesn't end up being through the draft. The Rams defense really may have been the best in the league after week 7 in 2024. I mean, the odds of making the playoffs after starting 1-4 is very, very unlikely. And it took a little while, but eventually Shula hit his stride calling plays. In the first 5 weeks of the season, the Rams ranked last in the NFL in EPA per play allowed at .165. They were terrible against the pass, giving up big plays and committing way too many penalties, and they couldn't stop anyone on the ground. The pass rush was generating a decent amount of pressure, but it didn't have the sacks to go with it. And then after week 7, only one team in the league ranked higher than the Rams in EPA per play allowed at negative .183. And that team was the Super Bowl winning Eagles at negative .204. It was a remarkable turnaround, one that Shula deserves a lot of credit for, but his players did as well. So let's talk about what players the Rams should be scouting up in the draft. With them trading back to 30th overall, I expect the Rams to have some solid options available. I really think defensive tackles are going to fly off the board early and often this year, but one guy that I think could be a fit is Jahad Campbell, a linebacker from Alabama. The value at cornerback drops off a little after Revel and Johnson are off the board, and that's what made the Rams a trade back candidate. That's what made them willing to pull the trigger. And I think they could get tremendous value with Campbell, who is an excellent athlete that could be an immediate asset in the middle of the defense. Like I've already said, the current roster leaves a lot to be desired in terms of depth, and Campbell is a potential green dot candidate as the captain of the defense. He has the exciting blend of speed, power, and length required to be a highly disruptive player at the second level of an NFL defense. And then in the third round, while we did see Tyler Higbee come back and play well last season, his injury concerns mean he cannot be the long-term plan at tight end for this team. In terms of succession planning, Elijah Arroyo is an intriguing move late on day 2. He has the upside to be a major part of a passing attack, but his blocking may never allow him to be a consistent tight end in a conventional sense. But who knows? For it being the third round, he could be a decent pick with high upside. And then back to the first round, I love Azareye'h Thomas out of Florida. The Lions and the Bills both called the Rams inquiring about a possible trade. Detroit attempted to convince the Rams to send back one too many extra picks by using the powerful bond of friendship as a negotiation tactic, but Snead wasn't biting and kept his beloved 4th rounder this year, his 4th rounder in 2026, plus pick number 109 in a sweet deal with Buffalo, and only had to move back 4 spots. Thomas is a long corner with good range who would give the Rams the size they badly need in their secondary to pair on the outside with veteran Darius Williams, even though Witherspoon is back under contract for another season. Kobe Durant could move into the slot full-time with the selection of Thomas, who adds youth and talent to the DB room to match much of the rest of the defense. Obviously, what is going to happen over the next few weeks is unpredictable. I just wanted to give some of my insights, and I wanted to talk about why the Rams really are being slept on right now. I'm not saying instantly they are just going to shoot out of a cannon on fire and catch the world by storm, but they will be around, they will be there come playoff time, and they are going to be a dangerous matchup for anyone. And they already won a Super Bowl, so it's not like there's a ton of pressure or it's all or nothing. I mean, obviously every year is all or nothing, but if you get what I'm trying to say, Stafford can play free, McVay can coach free, this is going to be a fun year. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you'd like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.